I'm going to go on with this. The Lake House, Part Two. Uh, so that that would have been the spring, the spring of oh, I lose track, 1966, or no, maybe 65. Uh, that I did all that driving and hitchhiking. And then when I got back to hitchhike back to Cambridge, Boston, and that night I went to work. I would sleep. I'd sleep a little bit then, and then that night, Sunday night, I'd be night watchman again, and so it went on for, oh, maybe 3 months. Uh, but anyway, that was part one. Part two, that's where Joyce and I had our wedding reception. Uh, by by 1968, this was the year I graduated. We graduated. Uh, we decided that we would marry. Now, see, Colby College was just 2 years, a junior college, and after the second year, Joyce went to Tufts University in oh, it's right there near Cambridge, and she had an apartment in Cambridge, so that was a lot easier commute. Uh, and But anyway, we had decided to marry, and we sort of knew it might be kind of quick, maybe, and people say you're too young, but you know we were going into the Peace Corps. I was going into the Peace Corps, and I'd already been accepted and trained, and the fact that I married meant that we had to be trained again. But and Joyce was going into the Peace Corps too. Her older sister, Pat, had been in Katolé du Hocha, which I talk about all the time, but that's not the lake house. Uh, so uh, we both graduated, we got married, and we joined the Peace Corps all within a month. That would have been June going into July of 1968. But the wedding was at the chapel in Colby College, a real pretty little church. I had an English teacher, my favorite academic teacher, certainly of all time, Dr. Blanchard. He came up and he read the poem, "Wonderful One Times One." I remember that. That's what I most remember about the wedding. He stood up in the congregation and read that poem for us by E. Cummings. But anyway, the reception was at the lake house, and it was fine. It was rustic, which suited me just fine. But the two things that stand out in my mind, one, my a younger sister, my middle sister's boyfriend at the time, came. Later, they married, and he brought with him. He was an artist. He went to Yale, and a bit of a strange fellow in many ways, but he brought his boa constrictor, a snake, about 6 feet long, or at least 6 feet long. He brought it and was letting people hold it, but the way you hold it was it would hang on your shoulders and wrap around your neck. So at my our wedding reception, I had a boa constrictor wrapped around my neck. But the other thing that I remember, which is more apropos, is these. One other thing I should say is my best man met his future wife at that wedding reception, and of course then they later married, and they're still married. But anyway, my friends supposedly decided that they should throw me in the lake. Now there's a dock down there for the boats. My first father-in-law, he was into sailing, and he had a sailboat. But anyway, they manhandled me, about 3 or 4 of them, I guess. They picked me up and carried me down there and threw me in the lake. There was no way I was going to be able to stop it. So in a way, I didn't really stop it. But what I did do is when they finally threw me, I grabbed them and We all went into the lake. Boy, that water was cold. Um, so anyway, the next time I'm gonna jump ahead 3 years. So that's part 2. Bye for now.